The champ is back. We're drafting for $2 million on Underdog Fantasy. It is the Davis and Liam show. Let's vibe.
It's Short King summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King summer.
All right, Mr. Chess Liam, you're done changing the lives of small children who are learning the intricacies of not best ball, but of chess. We are returning for our Wednesday show, the Davis and Liam show. I missed you, man. How you doing?
I missed you too. I was a fool and I made I made the stream myself and then I deleted that in StreamYard, and apparently that stream is still there and people are waiting for that one. Like, they're not in this one. So I don't know how to delete that one.
No, you're good. I'm looking at our numbers right now. 43 people are watching on your channel. 29 people are watching on my channel.
No, I know. But I have two streams. I have this one, which is live, and then I have an upcoming one, which I just don't know how to delete it on my end. So we'll figure that one out. I deleted it in StreamYard. I'm just going to say, go to my other stream. This one is dead. Anyways, Davis, it is great to be back with you, man. It feels like it's been a lifetime since we've last streamed together. Lots have changed. Yes, I have educated the children as you have kept on educating our fellow 30, 40, 20-year-old men listening to this. We all serve a purpose. I've been acing the kids and capture the flag. They don't know Mr. Murphy's got those dangles. So it's been a great time. I think we got to get right to it, Davis, because I don't think other guests will hit you with hard-hitting questions. How are you taking the death of Jack Bech?
Oh, I don't care. It's like Jack Bech, not the type of guy I am anticipating coming in on June 18th and immediately being entrenched as a starter.
I think that's capping, because it's one thing to say that if there was like a veteran in his way, but Dante Thornton was taken like 4 rounds after him, and is getting run with the one. So I don't know. Like,
yeah, he's a more natural stylistic fit for what they need. I mean, he just is a straight 1-for-1 replacement. He's Trey Tucker, but fast.
Well, it's just, I mean, Trey Tucker is fast, but it's unnatural.
Trey Tucker is not fast. Trey Tucker ran a 4.5.
Trey Tucker's fast, man. I'm pulling up Trey Tucker's RAS. Trey Tucker
his RAS might be okay, but Trey Tucker ran, I believe, a
4.41. 4.41. Fact checked. 4.4.
Yeah, so he's 5'9", 187, ran a 4.4. So that's not even that. That doesn't even.
4.4 is fast, man. A 4.4 is fast. 1.47 10-yard split. That is fast. But I don't know. I would be really I think it is low key sharp to do a Geno, Trey Tucker, Dante Thornton stack, just because no one else is doing that. And I would be worried about Jack Bech, because it seems like he has overlapping skill sets with Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. And I get the body type stuff, but it is not a good sign when you're a 2nd round pick and a 6th round pick is getting run over you. Now, obviously, it is June. So, guys like Elijah Moore, they look great in June. There's no pads on, right? They look at they're fast, they're agile, but I don't know. I'd be worried about it. You're not worried?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be worried if his price was staying the same and the market was saying, it's going to continue to make you take an 11th round pick on Jack Bech. But we have a guy who scored 10 touchdowns in college, 1,400 yards in 4 seasons, had to transfer, multiple times. I don't know. Dante Thornton seems like a real diamond. He seems like? He seems like a real Justin Watson style guy. Whereas like Bech, I mean, I think general expectation for the wide receiver you take at wide receiver 61 or whatever Bech is should be that he like basically doesn't contribute to your roster in half PPR. And Bech has, I think, like 3 outs, a Bowers injury, a Myers injury, or just plays well enough that they don't care about the duplicative skill set.
I think I don't know. I think it's just a little like maybe he's a pick for the future, like Jacoby Myers future move. I don't know. I never really saw. I mean, he did get second round capital, so that is nice. Let's talk about some of the other.
I draft Thornton.
You've draft. I have yet to draft Thornton or Tucker. I was scared off by it, but
I don't think I have any
it.
Tucker. Yeah, it looks like I haven't.
Let me see
Tucker.
these flat exposures, man. Let me see these 8%.
There you go.
It's not 8%. This is. I would say this is responsible. You're 2x on a lot of players. Like that's totally fine. I go up to like 30%. Like last year, my highest drafted player was 30%. It's not crazy, right?
Reasonable.
Let's talk about some of the other market movers. Rashee Rice seems officially
now he's just a second
round pick. You know, is there room for that to climb? Are we going to get? What's the line for you? Is Ladd McConkey the line?
Lad's.
Pull up a draft board. I think is just easier visual for this.
Well, the line would be where I have him ranked, and I have him ranked.
You set the line.
Well, I'm telling you what my line is.
But I could, I don't know. Like if we get some glowing August reports, I don't see why he couldn't jump Taylor, Bucky, maybe.
Well, how more glowing could the reports get than he's not suspended, he's healthy, he's at mandatory minicamp. I don't know how much more like what could even happen,
I still think there's like price anchoring, right? Like I have teams with him at the 3-4 turn. And so like that will slowly go away from memory that was happening. And so it's like that changes over the season. And also from what I've read of Chiefs camp is like Juju Smith-Schuster looked good today. And then like this guy caught 2 touchdowns, so it could be like Rashee Rice is dominating. He's clearly ahead of Xavier Worthy in the pecking order. Travis Kelce looks like a husk of himself. We could get reports like that where you're like, oh my God. It's clearly
the reporting from training camp is the exact opposite. The Peter Sweeney, PG Sweens, tweeted out all the reports.
He's the only one who
day
does
one.
It for that.
Yeah. And he said Kelce is the slimmest he's been since their first Super Bowl season. So
same with Tyreek,
take that for whatever. Hey, Liam, will you ban this guy, please? This is he's banned from every channel that I own and operate. But please, you got to get this guy out of here. He's my He's never won anything. He's the biggest loser on the internet. So please, remove him.
I'm not going to just outright. I'm going to put him in a timeout if you guys are beefing. Chris, come back with better energy, okay?
No, Kelce not partying with Diggs. Kelce is partying with a woman who probably eats Taylor Swift probably eats about 900 calories a day, and he's been hanging out with a rail thin pop star. Dude doesn't get to eat red meat anymore. Travis Kelce.
His haircut looks pretty funny. How about J.K. Dobbins? He's rising.
I gotta give that one to
pick 109.
You. I said I was not interested in him, and if he would have signed anywhere else, I would have not been interested. But there's nowhere more that this dude could just walk into 187 rushes and 42 catches easier than the Denver Broncos. Like if he'd re-signed with the Chargers, 0.
That was not happening. I think people were misreading that. That was for a comp pick so clearly to me.
Bears, I would not have been that interested. I think
Bears or Cowboys, I think is wheels up too,
So the reason why I would disagree in the Bears is I think that Swift is roughly like because Dobbins was so inefficient last season. It was like his worst year. I mean, obviously, it was his worst year of efficiency. It was the first time the dude ever finished a season, and he was like likely like lowest success rate of his career, lowest yards per carry, lowest missed tackles forced, lowest breakaway rate, all that stuff. I don't think Dobbins
He
is
had like
very
a
good
one long
anymore.
run to start the season, and then he like pulled up lame.
He got caught from behind on a 70-yard
Yeah.
run. But I'm like pretty aggressively drafting J.K. Dobbins. Like I've got him still ranked ahead of ADP, even his risen ADP.
Yeah, and I think like it depends, you know, I see no reason why he can't go to like Ramondre Stevenson price, if not higher, you know. Maybe Zach Charbonnet is like a hard line for him. It's definitely not the death of RJ Harvey, but right, who still has all the upside in the world. But yeah, I mean, there's no reason like J.K. Dobbins. He's a good pass catcher. He did that a lot with the Chargers. He could get up the goal line work, right? Like this could be
Dobbins is now going to be Javonte Williams, like what Javonte was at the end, where Javonte was playing like
but Dobbins
third
still
downs
like
and stuff.
I still have hopes that Dobbins has juice because last year, you know, like I wasn't expecting him to be ready week 1 personally.
No, me either.
And he was, right? And so it's like now first off season of his career that he didn't actually have to rehab like a real injury. I see no reason why he couldn't, you know, he might fade down the stretch, but and it's death for our Jaleel and
Jaleel and Estime are dead. I'm liking Harvey now as a 6th round pick quite a bit. I just think, you know, our memory of Dobbins is so different than the player that he actually is. Like I think the way to think of Dobbins now is, you know, you think about him as like a really great running back, but on their 3rd team, right? Like Dobbins back in the day, you know, we could have gotten rookie J.K. Dobbins for a full season, full touches would have been great. But that guy doesn't exist anymore. You know, he's gone.
We'll see. How are you feeling about Rodgers? He's going up in price.
That I don't love. Like I still like Dart, Daniel Jones, those guys ahead of Rodgers. What do you think?
I think it depends what you need. Like if you need week 1 points, you almost have to take Rodgers over.
Sure.
Over
Why would you need week 1 points at quarterback though?
There are some rooms where you just like get punished, you know, like this new the 3 quarterback propaganda. Everyone needs to get 3 quarterbacks. Like it causes some weird things to happen where, you know, like I did a stream yesterday and I had to go like 4 quarterback with like Daniel Jones and
the biggest risers all being quarterbacks is very funny.
Yes. And then Tootin's falling.
Yeah, I'm gobbling that.
Any rhyme or reason for that? Someone said LaQuinn Allen was going ahead in June.
There was a good report on ETN is really all it was.
Yeah,
coach said some positive things about ETN. So I think that's really it.
Someone said osmosis effects from eliminator rooms. That you know, honestly, the eliminator rooms, they act so different. I could see that. Not many other huge ADP Chubb. How are you feeling about Chubb?
See, Chubb is the one where I'm like, okay, Dobbins, like I'll chase this team for a while. Yeah. But like, dude, Joe Mixon's in a walking boot right now. I don't know, man. I think you could get, you know what's funny is the season you want from Nick Chubb is the season that Kareem Hunt had when he was in a backfield with Chubb, where he was like the league's worst running back, but he scored 10 touchdowns. That's dude, this 2023 season is so funny. 411 rushing yards, 3 yards per carry, but 9 tuds. You could get that from Mixon.
I mean, so Chubb was like actively terrible last year, obviously.
And it's probably going to be worse this year.
Well, I don't know. It's like now he's, you know, like his injury to end the year is not as bad to like rehab from. And so I could see him coming back and being like, you know, 80% of himself, but I'm personally not going to be chasing the Chubb steam too much. I'm not like that afraid of him. I don't even really like the Week 17 game too much of Chargers Texans. Like maybe, but it's not like, oh yes, this is like Stroud and Herbert trading blows. And then Joe Mixon, like I didn't really want anything to do with him when he was like climbing boards, but like on DraftKings, where people are just deathly afraid of a Q tag, like
Yeah.
he was going at the 3-4 turn. I got him in the 6th round. Like I think you just scoop Joe Mixon as he falls because I don't know, is a walking boot in June that meaningful? I get he had ankle injuries in the past, but
It's probably more meaningful when you are 29, 30, Joe Mixon. It's probably a smidgen more meaningful. Right? Because when running backs go, they go. It don't come back, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the alternative is an older running back who's been more injured,
Who might be
right?
more healthy. Or Woody Marks, who they traded a future 3rd round pick for. I mean, Woody Marks is such a bad like runner that
He can't just like carry the ball.
I think
right?
literally why they signed Chubb is I think they got to look at Woody Marks' pads on and they were like, damn, this shit ain't gonna work, dude.
They should have signed Cam Akers.
Well, Cam Akers will at some point get traded for a conditional 7th round pick. I guess back to the Vikings, but
back to the Vikings.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, let's jump into draft and take it from there. What are we doing?
Let's do BBM, man. We haven't done
right,
one in a while.
Let's just ship 2 million right now.
Let's just ship 2 million. I've been doing BBMs because I have a week vacation in July, and then I'm going to be doing some DraftKings stuff. So there'll be like 2 weeks over the course of the summer where I won't be doing any BBMs because I am mostly streaming or recording.
What do you mean?
Wow.
Oh.
What do I mean by what?
Get that off my screen. It's in the way.
There you go.
What do you mean by doing like you're going to do your DraftKings drafts in July? Like that's a plan for you?
No. So like they have the best ball weeks in July and in August. So for those weeks, I'll just be doing DraftKings stuff.
What's the best ball weeks?
They have they do like the enter in and you get a $20 NBA ticket, enter in 3 today and you get, like they
so
do
you where can you see that scheduled? Just on the site or something?
It's somewhere. It's buried somewhere deep in there.
Okay. Because I know that like just randomly it'll be like draft a team now and get like $5.
Yeah, they have the flash promos as well. But yeah, there's one in July and then there's one in August. So there we go. We are welcomed back with Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase fixing a sin of yours last year. What is your take on Joe Burrow come August? Because I think something that could happen is Burrow bottoms out to the 6-7 and maybe even climbs closer to Baker. But then maybe the August crowd is like, dude, it's Joe Burrow, and like maybe he starts rising again. Or historically, quarterbacks just fall over time as we draft throughout the summer. So I don't know. How do you think, where would Joe Burrow be drafted on August 30th?
Right about where he's going now. Like he'll creep
6-7.
He'll creep back. So right now I think he's like 70 exactly or 60 exactly. Let's see. 60.6. So I think he'll creep back and it'll be like 64 for a while and then it'll creep back up. That's exactly what'll happen.
Yeah, I could see something like that.
Yeah. And I try and push him pretty much every time, but
well, I wasn't for a little bit because it's like, what's the functional difference from like Jaden Reed to DK Metcalf? They're just different flavors of the day as far as like who can have a big game in an individual week. But
the difference is pretty big. It's like Joe Burrow and Matthew Golden, right? Or the 1v1 is DK Metcalf versus Matthew Golden
that's
DK
what I'm
Metcalf
saying. Like in an individual week, it's like DK can score 30, so can Golden. So it's like when it was close, I was not pushing it as much, but now I think I'll push every single time.
The thing is I was going to say, the thing is lots of teams have been getting it because like you're just seeing the evidence of his ADP falling. So
yes.
You're getting.
No, now you should push it always. But before, I think it was close.
Seems fair enough.
Neighbors is falling with like
It's
him
true.
in a boot.
I should have taken Justin Jefferson over Chase to tell you. I should have.
That would have been really funny, fixing the sin and just slam Jefferson. What are you doing? The 102 is weird because it's like you're like, oh, I didn't get Chase. It's like, Saquon, yeah, okay. Jefferson, yeah, I do that a lot. Bijan, yeah, okay.
I hate taking Barkley, but I do.
You're 100% Barkley 102.
Maybe if I'm feeling like good about myself that day, maybe I'll take Jefferson if I feel like living a little.
Feeling a little taller in the mirror, you'll rip. But I don't know. I do think if we play this season enough, going the wide receivers there is probably like I think taking CMC at the 102 just to get weird, pretty good. Gibbs, yeah, he's definitely in the discussion for the 102. I still like Gibbs over Bijan straight up, but seems like the
half PPR. I think actually is a little bit better for Gibbs. Yeah, I mean I see it either way.
Yeah, I mean arguably both. I just think Gibbs has a bigger ceiling.
Bijan probably won't ever have the explosive plays, but I don't know. Like David Montgomery doesn't get injured. Bijan could touch the ball 100 more times than Jahmyr Gibbs. Not saying that is the most likely thing or that I'm not taking Gibbs, but just like Bijan's going to get the ball a lot.
Vibes are a little off for David Montgomery. I don't think we can just 1-to-1 assume it's going to be what the split has been. Like we could be looking at Gibbs playing way more this year. Or Montgomery getting more run. Who knows? But I don't know. I take Montgomery.
It definitely is not going to be. There's not going to be more Montgomery run than there was last year. No chance. I think.
Most likely less. Right.
What do you want to do?
I think Marv or Trey. You choose. Let's do Marv.
I'm a Marv boy.
And then you want to pull up someone from the other side, someone like Kyron Brees, an elite quarterback. I'm also okay with. I like Bucky a lot actually. Let's do Bucky. I like. Bucky is going to, like, when I read up my playoff article, he's going to make the cut for, like, this could just be the guy describing the season because let me read through the Bucs playoff schedule.
But by the way, you can read it off. This is just so funny to me. Jahmyr Gibbs averages 30 fantasy points per game when Montgomery's out of the lineup, and Brett Jones says Gibbs plays better when Montgomery bruises up the defense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's too inside ball, but Tampa plays.
Brett probably advanced 37% of his teams last year. That's what I can say about that.
Tampa plays home against Atlanta, Good. That's what at Carolina.
Smash.
Smash at Miami. Smash. So, I know Miami's secondary is going to be worse too because they're going to ship out Jalen Ramsey, but their front seven was so bad last year. They need to fix the O-line. So it's just not going to surprise me if Bucky is like, I already like the talent. Plus, I love the playoff matchups. Like, he seems like a clear target.
I don't like Bucky as much, but it's because I'm a.
Why don't you?
It's all dynasty stuff. He's little. He's slow. Those are those.
He was so good as a rookie. Like, what about as a rookie / the end of the year? Are you like, ugh?
Lot of day 3 picks do really good for a while and then don't do good anymore.
This is like being, the book of Eli blind right now. Like
I take my 8% and I move on because I'm probably wrong.
I like Bucky so much that I'm never passing on him at the 2-3 turn. Let me put it that way.
No, I definitely do. I mean, sometimes I'll take a wide receiver. Sometimes I'll take McBride. I just do, mix him. I don't feel strongly about anyone at that turn, really, other than Marv. I do feel
the worst version of Davis. The like we just have to 8% everyone because mistakes were made and blah,
no,
blah.
I've got a lot of Marv. Marv I think is actually
I'm in the Marv too.
Just like the most mid IQ thing that I can imagine is being like, you know what? You know who's really shitty? A top 5 overall pick at wide receiver who had 880 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's just got to be bad. He just has to be bad.
Yeah, I didn't understand the hate pushed. I think it was like,
well, it's because he disappointed as a rookie.
Respect to Sam Sherman. I think it started like Sam Sherman was running the hater club, and that snowballed.
Well, I was a Marv hater at the one. I only had 3% of him last year at the one.
Right, but what
he
he actually did was like he scored 7 touchdowns. Like, is this something we don't like?
8, I think, right?
Maybe 8. Yeah. Do we not like that in fantasy football, guys? Like, I understand it wasn't perfect, but it was year 1. Year 2 could be significantly better. There's a lot of rookies who year 2 is their year.
Can you call someone an alpha who scored 2 touchdowns? I'm not giving Trey McBride alpha on 2 touchdowns. You know what?
I like Trey too.
Right.
I like Trey a lot too, but
I am going to dedicate the puppy 2 to pure joy. I'm taking Worthy. I'm taking all my boys.
That's honestly a great way to do it. If you volume draft and you're like a big fan of a team, you just want to like homer draft that. Like, I think that's fantastic.
Not even homer. I'm just going to take all the guys I actually like. Like, I'm just be like, okay, well, I'm not taking Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin sucks.
Yeah.
I think we should take Kittle.
Yeah, I'm cool with Kittle, especially with us not taking McBride. Very logical. And then, I mean, I take Hunter a lot, but I don't want to do 100% Hunter. I'm into Pickens for sure. I'm into Flowers.
I'm going to take Kittle. I'm going to lower Hunter in my rankings for 2 reasons. The first being we've gotten enough of James Gladstone and the coaching staff being like, well, yes, I mean, some weeks he's just not going to play that much on offense, which I don't really care that much about. But I also had this defensive guy on my podcast yesterday, Cody Alexander. He runs this site called Match Quarters, and he was explaining it like as like a football coach. And he was like, man, if I was his coach year 1, I'd be like, brother, you are playing defense, because there is so much to learn about playing defense at the NFL level, about coverages and knowing where your assignment is. Whereas on offense, Trevor Lawrence can come over to you in the huddle and say, hey, bud, you're running a post, you're running a corner, you're running a flat. Like, there's way less instruction. So I think he's probably closer to like being a Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave type. But obviously his ceiling is so much higher, in my opinion, because I think he's better than those guys. But
I've actually heard it opposite, where most people think he's such a good corner, and he's mainly been in defensive meetings in college, that he doesn't need that much help there. And that is maybe why he's like strictly been with the offensive group for spring camp.
That's what Gladstone said. They said that he spent more time at wide receiver because he's a more natural corner.
Yeah. And so I don't know, like, obviously the guy has downside. The upside is amazing. So yeah, I still think it's okay to take him at the 3-4 turn at times. I don't want you just don't want 100% anyone in this round. It's such a, there's a high opportunity cost to fade everyone in these rounds. But I don't know. I don't really think
you take 8%, Liam.
I don't think he should settle in at the 4-5 turn. Yeah,
but here, just let me.
He's going to, I think.
Let me play this like 20-second clip about Hunter, because I had never thought about it this way, because I don't know shit about defense. I'm loading it up right now.
Respect. Was this guy a high school coach, a college coach?
He was the assistant defensive coordinator at Baylor under Art Briles.
There's a lot of NFL coaches who I don't really respect their decisions, so I'm not saying this guy's not super sharp, but
you know what's a funny thing that I'm going to play it after we make this pick. A funny thing that I've been noticing is Addison falling because of this suspension. But if you really like Jordan Addison, I don't think you care about 3 games suspend the first 3 games of the season.
Definitely not. But this is where he's kind of been the whole time, though, right? This like Ridley, Waddle, Jennings, Godwin, Olave tier of guys.
James loves to say this, and he might be right. He said there are plenty of guys you can take in the 4th round who don't have to tackle Jonathan Taylor. I mean, you might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, couldn't you also say there are plenty of guys who aren't going to get crippled over
There's
the middle of the field.
well, there's
Maybe you take less shots, but you got to play defense. You got to dish out the punishment.
buddy. There's plenty of plenty of guys who weren't the second overall pick in the National Football
Yeah,
League
I just like
draft.
logically, you do not take a corner at the second pick. You do not give up what the Jags did with the plan to be mostly corner. Nor is Diami Brown and Parker Washington good enough to like get it done, right? Like,
dude, don't start talking. You're gonna bring the Diami Brown people out.
I like Diami Brown. I like
the
Diami Brown.
woodwork.
I draft Diami Brown.
Yeah, dude,
I
take 8% of Diami Brown.
No, I was the one who like was hammering Diami Brown in big board, and then was like, I get Hunter's there, but then it's like, yeah, I guess he's the 3 still. I don't know. I just think
who took Burrow, by the way.
I think
the Higgins drafter got him.
see, that's fine. Like that's like,
yeah.
That's cool.
Right, what do you want to do?
Yeah, definitely one of Ricky or Jaden.
Let's do Jaden.
And then I don't like Caleb Johnson that much, so
I'm very woke. ADP is
Montgomery. I'd be okay with Ricky too, or Swift.
Let's do Jaden. So what quarterbacks we have live? We didn't get Burrow. We got Kyler. We got Dak. We got Purdy.
Yeah, we're fine on quarterbacks.
Let's do Swift for the game stack.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Swift. Who could even come there now? Like, I guess there's a possibility you get the midseason trade. What Breece Hall midseason traded to the Bears? My God.
Here, I'm gonna play this clip about Hunter. But what would you do with Travis Hunter? Just if we're talking about roster construction and multiplicity, like you're a Jaguars coach, whatever, and you're like, all right, man, we're gonna do what it looks too terrible. I thought it would take up the whole screen. It was an objective eyesore. You guys can go listen to that on a
I don't know.
It's like double Davis. No one needs that.
I would also ask him, would you draft a corner at second overall in the NFL draft?
And I think the answer is just like clearly no.
Yeah, if his answer was yes, like I don't really care what his fantasy football opinion is, because it's like, okay, well, you don't understand how to allocate resources appropriately. Yes. I didn't think it was that bad, by the way.
No, there were if you guys want to watch it, that is literally up as a YouTube short right now. So you can go and watch that.
I don't even know how you just did that right there.
I just uploaded it as a video clip inside of StreamYard. I've been
these little electric box you got us in. These things are nice, man.
Yeah, this was I had to learn how to do a StreamYard overlay because we were changing how we're doing this Swolecast, and I frankly didn't want to pay a graphic designer, so I was like, man, you better just learn how to do it. And it doesn't like if I had paid Zach Lenars to do it, it would look way better. But
I think it looks good.
Yeah. The boxes are nice though.
What did you guys do on this Swolecast? I've been a little busy. I haven't caught it. You did the round. I caught the episode where you were talking about doing around the horn. So is that what happened?
Yes. Yeah. So I made a new overlay, a new background and everything so that we could do around the horn.
How did that go?
Good. I think people liked it.
Was Tuttle there?
Tuttle messaged our group DM and said, I don't think I'm going to be there until NFL season starts. So,
which is fine, but it's just kind of tough to do around the horn with 3 people because one of them has to host, doesn't they?
Yeah, Dave hosted. We are going to rotate hosting because obviously what happened is
it's just you and it was Peter and you.
It was Peter.
I think what you should do is you should just have just like the real Round the Horn. You should have 2 guests each week, so you can do the 4-person box plus have the host.
Yes. Yeah. We should get guests. I mean, Liam, we're not great about booking guests on the Swolecast. So or just really thinking about the Swolecast before it happens. Like mostly like what we did for the show on Tuesday was the most thought we've ever given. Manly Moose, I'm not jacked. I'm about 17 pounds overweight for a guy as short as I am. But
What's your weight?
I'm 168 right now. But
Grant,
I'm a
the 2
little
out
guy.
of 10 is generous for my production value. I weigh similar to you, but I am taller than you.
Yeah. And I am. I mean, I am. I bet I'm probably about 22% body fat right now, but I am very strong for how tall I am and how much I weigh. BMI is a lie.
The shorter
Chris
you
makes a good
are,
point.
usually like that helps. Like short arms helps with like bench. Like I have long
Bench.
arms, so
Yes.
like my bench is not that great, but I can like pull ups and stuff are easier for me.
Yeah, Paul, I wish I was 5'8". I honestly don't know. I'm probably closer to like 5'4" than 5'6" though. You can't tell because I'm on YouTube. I'm a small man.
Wow.
Yes, I'm built. A fire hydrant's good. I always say I'm built like a mini fridge.
I'm 5'11".
5'11".
I'm like a 5'11" where I could tell you I'm 6 feet, but I'm not 6 feet. I think we do Kyler, and I'm also okay doing Purdy and just being done.
No, we are.
And if not, I want to do Warren for sure.
I was gonna say the wide receivers are too good here to take a running back.
Dude, I don't like Pittman. I like Kyler. Let's do Warren. I could see Warren being an absolute smash with Rodgers.
Jalen Warren, dude, if it was gonna happen for Jalen Warren, he's had about 4 years to do it.
He got really hurt like last year. He was like he had like a really nice season 2 years ago. And Caleb Johnson could be bad.
This is just this Pittman, Harris, Burden, and Shaheed is the wide receiver cliff.
Nah. Well, Shaheed I would entertain, but we have 2 running backs, man. I think Warren is like, can't you see don't you remember Jamal Williams with Rodgers?
Yeah, Jalen Warren is not that guy.
I think that's wrong. I think Jalen Warren is good. I think he was hurt last year. And, it's not hard to see him with Rodgers having a good season, especially like if the Roman Wilsons of the world don't work out. If Caleb Johnson misses a blitz pickup, 100%.
Jalen Warren will probably average about 9.6 points per game the way he has every year of his fucking career.
Pull up Warren and pull up his season-long stats because he had like 170-point season or whatever. No.
Yeah, dude, I bet.
Pull it up in the app right now. Just close this box, type in Warren.
He had 105 points. His max is 165.
He had 165 2 years ago on only 4 touchdowns.
I am going to guess. I'm just going to guess that probably the guy who they drafted a first-round running back, then played him, then they drafted a 225 running back in round 3. I'm going to guess their plan is to not give him the ball 300 times.
Who? Caleb Johnson?
Caleb Johnson. They're not going to give. They're both going to get like. Warren will catch. Yes, Nathan is right. Warren will probably catch the ball 70 times, but Caleb Johnson's going to get 210 rushes.
I don't know, man. Like, Warren just seems like a better fit alongside Rodgers. We'll see. Like, I liked Caleb Johnson a lot pre-draft. I did think the round 3 draft capital wasn't great, and I'm kind of surprised he goes as high as he does because I do think he's like a true coin flip with Warren for who's the better pick and one you get a 2-round discount on. So if you are someone who's drafting Caleb and not waiving Warren, that's just like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Not really that into Jalen Warren. I only have 8.3%. Yeah, maybe this is the right way to say it, is that the dude is just never going to spike.
You catch a touchdown, you run one in.
Yeah, I mean, anyone can get there in a given week, so I guess that's not fair. But
I really wouldn't be surprised if Warren can rip off like a 250-point season, like a season where you're like, my God, I faded this. Like I do think there's some sticker shock from last year. And there's a real possibility that like Rodgers was not supposed to be on the field week 1 last year. He was not. He tore his Achilles the year before. Like that used to be a long injury. He was straight up on the field. And there's a real possibility that Rodgers still has like a twilight season in him.
I mean, I would argue that's probably good for the goal line back, which is going to be Caleb.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe Warren. Maybe Warren will. It's just like Warren is just kind of the quintessence. You know, I mean, he's kind of Tony Pollard, is what he is like, and he had to change teams for it to really happen.
Like if you want to poke holes at Warren, I would say it's like, well, why would I take him instead of like Travis Etienne? Like if you just want to straight up prefer.
Well, if I wanted to poke holes, I'd say he's 27 years old and has never done it.
Is 165 points bad?
It's not what you want.
And he was
it's not what you want for an upper quartile season for a 27-year-old.
At a 9th pick, like 200 points, like that's kind of like what we're hoping out of Swift, you know? Like Saquon had 300, so 200, yeah, obviously Dak. I mean, I never draft Andrews, but I think we just do it.
It's pretty good ADP value. Leaves us.
If you want wide receiver, Kirk is like the end.
I'm not really a Kirk guy. We made our bed with shitty wide receivers when we took Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and it's also like almost all those wide receivers are drawing live to disappoint, I would say. Not Shaheed, I don't think. Pittman, I don't know. Like I'm still a little bit wary on all this Indy hype, mainly because of Tyler Warren. Could just like be the hype player. Who's a tight end and cheaper. And I don't know. It's like between Downs and Pittman, we're just doing a lot here for the passing game of the Colts.
I'm Danny Dimes, man. He's the hero, man. He's so back
for like 4 weeks. I also think Jonnu falling this much is just wrong. I don't think the trade's happening.
I don't know. I feel like the trade stuff just kind of opened people's eyes to being like, why are we drafting Gary Barnidge in the 8th round?
There's just not many tight ends that can do what he did to end the year.
I think I'd take like 6 tight ends who go behind Jonnu. Like if I was doing Truth Serum, like I like Tucker Kraft more than I like Jonnu.
If I was doing Truth Serum, I prefer him to like Kelsey. I prefer him to TJ Hawkinson.
That's preferring him over to Hawkinson is crazy.
Not really, because it's like it's just easy to see Hawkinson being like a bad fit for half point. Like if he has like a bunch of like 8 catch, 45-yard games is like, okay. Jonnu at least has the juice to go.
That's a Jonnu to Ebron is a better comp. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Ebron never did what Jonnu did last year. There's just simply not like the reason why I was drafting a lot of Jonnu last year is there's just simply not many tight ends who you can throw a 5-yard pass to and they go run for a 60-yard touchdown. And Jonnu can do that.
Aronde Gadsden, brother.
Is that the guy who, washes Tyler Conklin's laundry?
It's the guy that Jim Harbaugh comped to Darren Waller.
Okay.
Jonnu, I think is the most evident 1-year spike due to his surrounding situation of like any tight end, and that if Mike McDaniel
that like won games for them, so why would they not mix that in, even if it's not like the full plan?
Yeah, they'll probably mix him in a little bit, but he's probably the 4th target on their offense.
Who's the 3rd?
Devin Achane.
Achane, okay, yeah. I don't know. You got outs to Tyreek being traded / jail / bad. You got outs to Waddle being bad. You got outs to Achane being hurt. You got a lot of outs. You got a lot of
outs.
You have a lot of outs, even if Jonnu is not that guy to start. I just think it's silly to fade Jonnu's upside personally. Like 2 picks later than Jonnu, Isaiah Likely went. That's egregious.
Sure. I mean, I have how much Jonnu do I have? Oh, I don't have my tool loaded up. I I don't know. I bet I have. Let's hear. Let's just go.
So,
see real
someone
quick.
said Njoku shouldn't be this cheap. 100%. Njoku way too cheap too.
Yes. I have to go look up how much actual Jonnu I have.
We're about to be on the clock here, by the way.
It's probably a lot of great wide receivers for us to pick here.
So we're done at quarterback. We're gonna need to get some wideouts in the room. But we're probably going like 9, right? This could be a 2-5-9 too.
No, we're not taking 9 wide receivers. Not when you took a wide receiver in the first.
I don't know.
What is a 9th wide receiver in the 18th round?
Sometimes that's Amon-Ra St. Brown for you, who wins you tournaments when you took Diami Brown the pick before.
I mean, it's like what I just had this pulled up the other day. The amount of
or sometimes that guy just gives you a 20-point week in week 15.
All right, Hollywood went.
I think Garendo is who I like. Benson too, since we have Kyler, maybe we do Benson instead.
No, we need to
Tillman. I like a lot.
Yeah, I think let's just do this. I like Garendo. We need some juice here.
You don't want to do Benson with Kyler?
I don't really like Trey Benson. I mean,
I like Garendo straight up over him. I just got very little Benson, so I was like, oh, I'll get some. Tillman I like a lot.
Yeah, Tillman's good. Let's see if I'm actually light on Jonnu or if I'm capping.
Probably.
It's really hard for me to take him. 6.9%.
Nice, dude. Nice.
There we go.
All right, Grant, dude. Grant's trying to give us a structure. You guys need to alternate your picks. No, man. This is holistic, okay?
It's holistic. All right. We have got Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott,
nice,
Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren, Isaac Urendo, Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Cedric Tillman, George Kittle, and Mark Andrews.
I mean, I don't take Andrews much, but pick 120 is just like
pick 120.
Just give us the like 7 touchdown season again, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, people forget he had the tightrope surgery and got in a car crash. And
had the whole city hate him. Which in a game they would have lost anyways, most likely. Someone's asking about Elijah Moore.
Yeah, the people want the Elijah Moore take, Liam.
Well, here's my take. Number one, Elijah Moore is a guy who is made for spring practices, right? He's a great guy for the USA flag football team. And what I mean by that is, of course, he should shine without pads on. Now, Curtis Samuel is still probably ahead of him. Joe Buscaglia, who is the Bills beat reporter for The Athletic, said today that Curtis Samuel, roster lock. Elijah Moore is probably a roster lock. So that would make you assume Samuel was put in the group with like Palmer. Like how he listed the wide receivers was Shakir, Keon, Palmer, Curtis, Elijah Moore as the 5th. And then Laviska Shenault as like punt return stuff. And so obviously it's good news that Moore is shining in spring. But I think people forget Curtis Samuel had turf toe all season. And Loki did stuff in the playoffs, like scored a touchdown against the Chiefs, was doing stuff. Last year, Curtis Samuel season, that was not the plan for him. The plan was not for him to play 0% at all, right? And so, I don't know. Samuel should probably be mixed in somewhat. Elijah Moore, you can mix in too. I drafted him one time this year, I think yesterday. And I mean, some of the stuff might be sorted out in training camp. And then obviously if Samuel gets hurt again, Moore's that guy. Moore's probably the direct backup to Shakir as well. So I don't know. I wouldn't go over your skis on Elijah Moore though, personally.
I take the shit out of Elijah Moore right now.
So you don't care that he's most likely the wide receiver 5?
No, because I hate Shakir and I hate Kincaid, and Moore has some juice.
Okay, but hating these players doesn't really make Moore get on the field. He could get on the field. I don't know. Look, I think there's better clicks to go all in on. Yeah, Josh Palmer, it's not going to be surprising if he has a good season. Keon seems to be rising in price, which I get somewhat. We're on the clock here, Davis.
What do you want to do?
You got to see the players. Let's do. Should we do Michael Wilson as one? And then I like Pop Douglas.
I like Douglas. It's probably on. Yeah, I think we could just take both because there'll probably be a running back we like coming back around.
I don't think we need to stress running back.
Our running backs aren't very good. We have one good running back.
You don't like our wide receivers or our running backs.
We kind of middled it. The Warren pick made us middle it. I don't like Shakir because he doesn't score touchdowns. That's really it. He's fine. Khalil Shakir is fine for the Bills, but Elijah Moore.
How would you feel about the Bills pieces if Josh Allen scored 5 rushing touchdowns instead of 14 this year? What's your opinion
I'd probably be like, wow, man, Ray Davis scored 13 goal line touchdowns.
So you're giving the whole slice of the pie to Ray. It is somewhat ambiguous how it could go. A lot of them could go to James Cook. Like James Cook could be a clear league winner. They could go to Ray Davis. He could be a clear league winner. Or Josh could simply throw a lot of touchdowns, in which case it's like Kincaid, Shakir, Keon. Close your ears, but Kincaid's getting a lot of buzz so far in June. So
Kincaid's getting a lot of buzz, but how do you get him on the field? So you're either taking Dawson Knox off or you're playing Shakir out of position. What is the best way to get
you
Kincaid?
Just put him on the field and you throw touchdowns to him. You know, like
well, he didn't score any touchdowns at college.
I don't know. I don't think you need to overthink it. He's a first-round pick. He had like one of the highest target per route runs last year. Snap rates usually go up as you get older.
His targets per route run is very good because he doesn't play very many snaps. But you are correct.
Yeah, and
ninth
this is what led to people not being in on Cook. Oh, Cook doesn't play goal line. What changed? Cook played goal line. You know, like
but then they stopped throwing him the ball.
Things change, right? Yeah, I mean, he didn't have everything together, but that could happen with Cook too. Cook plays 15% more snaps. My God, like that's a dominating player. I don't think it's that likely because the Bills are a good enough football team and they'll probably have a much better defense where they don't they want to load manage their guys for the playoffs somewhat, right? Like they're not going to do what Shanahan did to CMC the Super Bowl year where Shanahan stupidly played CMC like way too much. Like that's foolish to do, you know, in my opinion.
Possible.
You're up 20 in the fourth quarter and you're not pulling CMC. What are you thinking?
God love him. God love him.
What are you thinking?
You're thinking, I got Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team, brother. That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking.
No, what he was thinking is I'm gonna get him the MVP. Because that was the year, remember, it was him, it was Tyreek, and then they just gave it to Lamar. Lamar shouldn't have gotten it that year. He should have gotten it last year. And Josh should have gotten it the year before.
Josh should have gotten it the year before.
Yeah, but people don't seem to.
Damn, I knew I knew someone was going to take Miles Sanders. Yeah, 174.
Yeah, Miles Sanders is climbing and should, right?
Yeah.
I'm cool with pick. I don't get much Bashard Smith, but I'm cool with it.
All right.
And let's go.
Oh, no. Let's save wide receiver. No.
Dami Brown. Let's go Dami Brown and rectify our sins.
No, let's take 2 running backs because I know what wide receiver we're taking in the last round.
Okay. So, I don't think we need 2 running backs, but like Bucky, Swift, Warren, those are 3 guys hitting your lineups most weeks. But
all right, then we can take
Bashard Smith could be a hard 0, so I don't know.
Probably is a hard 0, Liam.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, I haven't taken him yet at all. He's got upside, I know. I don't know. I would go Dami Brown, but you choose your favorite. Not Sampson. I'd do Giddens over Sampson.
Okay, we took.
I like Blake Corum. I think he's a good pick. Are you making us do Greg Dortch?
No, no. Even better. I'll
You'll private chat this. I'm gonna just say it out loud if I don't like it. Read through our wide receiver room because I think we need more juice there.
Our wide receiver, it is a wide receiver. Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Cedric Tillman, Michael Wilson, and Demario Douglas.
I guess it's
our
fine.
wide receiver room.
You didn't private chat me.
Oh, it's a good pick. If you're woke, it's a good pick.
I mix him in, mostly stacked like this.
He was more of a big board pick, but
I still think I still prefer the other guy ahead of him, but I think it's coin flippy. We're doing Hunter Luke.
It is pretty coin flippy.
We're doing Hunter Luke, you guys.
What if Hunter? It's not Dontavian Wicks. Sometimes I do learn.
Super secret, 100% drafted Dontavian Wicks.
I do learn some things every once in a while.
Put your guesses in, guys. What is it? Ryan Flournoy season.
Drafting Ryan Flournoy last year, truly one of the funniest things I've ever.
What if it's flop lag? I mean, on the Blake Corum pick, is this not the Tank Bigsby lesson again? Where guy was historically bad rookie year. Who cares? 3rd round draft capital next year. The only thing that changed is obviously they drafted someone else.
Yes, we are multi-streaming, so you can watch this on my channel and Liam's channel as well. Coolers, they want us to do a draft with Based SoFi.
Do you know who Based SoFi is?
That account commented something crazy on my channel too. Every once in a while, they'll just be these totally unhinged YouTube comments. Like sometimes people, it's something about YouTube. People are very mean on YouTube.
My cousin said it was I don't think it was mean. I think it my cousin said it was like a PFT like bit. Like he was doing a bit. Is like if so, it's so funny. But did you see that what I posted his comments on mine?
No, I read the comments like that you posted on Twitter, but I didn't read anymore.
You should have read. You should read what he wrote.
Someone did get. They knew it was Turpin.
Yeah, I honestly think Tolbert is probably a better pick than Turpin. But it's very close because like Turpin obviously has the juice. Where make sure you draft him if you have position limits. By the way,
I don't, but it was just. By the way, this is something that's very funny. AI, like obviously ruining the world. Google News is now unusable. You cannot search anything on Google News because it's all AI slop bullshit. But there was some good stuff about Kevontae Turpin getting running back touches, which I think we all knew, right? Obviously.
Yeah, that I guess it's a death blow for Jaden Blue. I mean, I don't know.
No, come on. It's a death blow for all the other shitty players they have.
Maybe, but like Tolbert and Turpin, like Tolbert goes undrafted all the time now, simply because George Pickens got there. We draft 4 wide receivers on the Panthers. Why can't we draft 3 on the Cowboys? You know,
right?
You know, like that doesn't make any sense to me. So I think Tolbert's a pretty strong click. You know, similar to like Wicks, and then Turpin, the thing, like, okay, maybe he beats out Tolbert. He has juice. We've seen him just, you know, take a swing pass to the house. I like the running back stuff. I saw that too. That doesn't move me as much, but I don't know. Like, and Tolbert scored 7 touchdowns last year or something like that, you know? I don't know. Doesn't seem like a bad guy.
Tolbert's fine. All right. Our team is Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Bucky Irving, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren, Isaac Guerrero, Brashard Smith, and Blake Corum. Jamar Chase, Marvin Harrison, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Cedric Tillman, Michael Wilson, Demario Douglas, George Kittle, and Mark Andrews. Fine.
I would probably have done a 5th running back and an extra wide receiver. Like going Jamar Chase round 1 doesn't change the calculus to me too much, but it's close.
What do you mean it doesn't change the calculus for you?
It's just like, I think structurally that team, it's a mix. So it's like, it was defensible. But like, to me, it's like, okay, Swift, Bucky's going to hit our lineup many, many, many weeks. Plus Swift is going to hit our lineups a lot of weeks, right? Plus Warren should hit our lineups
maybe.
weeks. And if you're saying maybe, it's like you're not like, okay, the team's dead anyways. Like you don't really plan for these guys to just not be part of the thing. They should be getting a lot of touches. And then you need to start 3 wide receivers a week. We have Michael Wilson and co. It's like we might just need a Darius Slayton to get us 20 points in a playoff week.
I just want my flex to be a running back every week.
Yeah, and I don't know if taking more of the late round guys changes that too much, where you're getting routes in the late round. Like you're getting
you're getting empty fucking Wan'Dale Robinson routes.
Sometimes that is MVS, sometimes that is like when these guys have a big playoff week, they're like 100% owned the rest of the way,
Right.
It's like,
but the running backs are the ones who are just more likely to run into points because they don't have to be any good to get points. They could just get them.
they have to get on the field, and they have more upside is what I would say. Like the late round running backs is more likely to be a league winner, but you're also far more likely to just draft an utter zero. So depends what you want to do.
But 80 points from your wide receiver 7 is an effective 0.
You're not really drafting the wide receiver 8 in that case for his season-long points. You're drafting him
for one good week,
just to have a great week at the end of the year. Yeah, and if he hits your lineup throughout the rest of the year, sure, great.
Wrong team, brother. Rondale's a Viking now. It's Rondale. It's Rondale
and also
versus Ty Felton.
Also, he didn't beat out Ray. Ray beat him out so bad that he left to the Vikings.
Well, he broke his leg.
Davis, you have 20% Ty Johnson?
I don't think I've taken Ty Johnson once.
Okay.
I was
going to say
Paul,
it's not
Paul is. I think Paul is just noting that I'm hating on James Cook.
You and all the other James Cook haters, you guys are going to get punished. I love that you guys are off him and push that, because I can simply draft Cook and be different than a lot of your teams, who otherwise might be built well. And then you guys will get utterly punished when Cook rams it down the Patriots and the Browns week 15 to 16.
I mean, I bet I have 5% James Cook.
Probably with me. I'm cool with literally anyone here.
Yeah, I don't really care. It's basically all the same. One thing I will say is I've just seen Genty randomly slipping around the turn.
In the big dog
the last
yesterday, he went pick 15. Yeah.
That is nuts.
And I was pick 16.
You forget that I can hate a guy, but I admit that the market knows more than me. So I'll still take my 8.3%.
Do you remember me last year telling you what you were doing was risky, and that, that you should probably not just jam the same second, third, and fourth round players?
Well, it just doesn't. Honestly, it wasn't about the guys that I drafted. It was about the guys I didn't draft. It was more about being stubborn on Barkley, Henry, and Kamara.
Well, when you keep on drafting the same guys, that opens you up to missing other guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, Saquon didn't win contests. Henry did, because Henry had a good week 17 too. Saquon's kind of a weird eval, because he had those Rams games where he had like 2 70-yard touchdowns, stick out in people's memories, but not that predictive. I'm cool with AJ Brown, Bowers, Henry, Ladd.
Got to get closer to 8%. Got to take Henry there.
I don't think I've taken him at all in Best Ball Mania, but you know where I get my Henry exposure?
Drafting with Herzig.
No, I'm not done that yet this year.
The main event.
No, that seems like a really bad fit. The Eliminator. He's just he's a better pick in the Eliminator, right? Like if he is just ramming it down our throats each week.
This That's a YouTube comment. That's an all-timer. I want to hit rock bottom from both perspectives. I want to wait for all my favorite players to smash this year and not advance any teams. I do. I just want to get it. I want to get zeros both ways.
You want to be the guy looking in at the glass at all your like the Chiefs players like celebrating as you like turn off your TV in the third quarter as they throw another touchdown.
I'm allowing myself Rashard Smith as a treat. He's the one that I'm like, all right, man, you want to have a little treat, you can have him.
Yeah, look, one of that guy that you mentioned, the Chiefs writer, he said that
Queenie.
Yeah, he said like, oh, Smith caught 2 touchdowns today, but then I looked at like the reporting of like the 11-on-11 session and 7-on-7 session.
Juju led them in.
Well, but and more importantly, Smith caught 0 with Mahomes. So it's like, it's like that's like.
But he caught a touchdown in red zone drills from Mahomes.
Okay, but like that's something to pay attention to, guys. It's like, oh, Mitch Trubisky threw a touchdown pass to Elijah Moore. That's a warning. That's like, hey, he's not with the first team.
Well, Rashard Smith is the running back 4. I mean, there's just no way around it. That's 100% the case, but it's pretty easy to see how he becomes the running back 3, and then pretty easy to see how he becomes the third down back, and then pretty easy to see by week 9 that he's the starter. It's just like, it's honestly, I think you should feel the way about Chiefs running backs the way you feel about the Jaguars running backs. No one agrees with me on this, but Pacheco is on shaky ground.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Pacheco's trending closer to a league winner than anything, but
he just might not be. He just might not be healthy.
Sure. I mean, he probably is though, right? Like it's been a full offseason now.
I mean, he was so bad. Like we watched him play
because he pushed through injury. This is like when Baker was bad because he played through the shoulder. I never thought Pacheco was as good as like. I think people just like that he ran funny. I'm cool with Brees. I've not gotten much Brees. Where do you have Cook in your rankings? My God.
48.
Incorrect. Just incorrect. But hey.
He just doesn't project very well.
Okay.
When you play with Josh Allen and you don't catch passes and you don't play all the snaps, he's kind of like, honestly, he's kind of like Henry.
You got to skate to where the puck is going. Yeah, he's like Henry, but a 2 rounds cheaper.
Yeah. I agree with this. I feel like Brees is just super low, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I have Brees and Cook right next to each other in my rankings, but I want to get more of Brees. He has more just like systemic risk and also was like kind of brutal last year, but he also has outs to getting traded to like a really nice situation.
Getting
if
traded.
The Jets are bad, they're shipping Brees. They're shipping Brees.
Shipping him for what though? Like, I don't know. That just feels
anything. If the Jets are bad, it means Fields is not the answer, and it means they have no quarterback. They have a second-year head coach. He's gonna want to just get picks and just.
I agree with this. If Pacheco is healthy, it's totally wheels up. I absolutely agree with this. No disagreement on that. But I'm not taking his health as a lock.
I don't have enough Pacheco, but he could go up like 3 rounds. I'm cool with Worthy. I like JMO a lot too.
I have more JMO than Worthy, so we'll do a
what crazy. I would rank JMO straight up over Worthy if I didn't bake in the market, but it is close.
I mean, JMO, if we just did run into a 130 target Jameson Williams season, it would be unbelievable. He'd score so many points.
Amon-Ra misses like 5 games or whatever.
Yeah.
So
this is the first time I've heard this, but Jeremy is saying that he was reading that Pacheco did not have tightrope because there was no ligament damage, but it's hard to find good.
The reporting on every injury is so hard to find.
Yeah. Well, WFN, you have hit at a great key, which is that we are all going to lose anyway. So you might as well have fun doing it.
What I've always is drafting 8%, having fun. My opinion that I've always said is that you cannot diversify yourself to $1 million.
Right, but
meaning
you
that
definitely can though. So I
mean-
should be clear. You could definitely diversify yourself to $1 million.
Sure, but what I mean by that is, unlike a DFS slate, for the most part, the market is pretty bad in fantasy football and best ball. And so the biggest edge you can have is simply identifying the players who are overpriced or mispriced and fading and or jamming said players, right? Now, you got to be within reason here. You don't want 100% a player, right? But like that's why one of my like in BBM2, my first time playing best ball at like a serious clip, I was like, well, Gabe Davis is probably the wide receiver 2 of the Bills and goes in round 12. So I had like 60% of him. Quite risky, but I thought it was a good play. And then next year he was a 4th round pick. So did Gabe win contest that year? No. But I thought it was a mispricing, right?
So you diversified yourself to $1 million because Gabe Davis wasn't on your winning team.
Well, I had 60%. I didn't have 100%.
So in other words, you did literally diversify yourself.
He was a 12th round pick. But you know what else I did that year is I jammed Jamar Chase, who was the key to winning best ball that year. So I didn't win BBM2 because I was like, oh no, what if this guy's the guy I need? Or last year, I jammed Jamar Chase because I thought he was most likely the wide receiver 1, and you could get him at like pick 5 through 12, you know? Now the market's gotten better in some spots.
What do you want to do here?
Why you start Rome? Who's on our team again? Scroll down.
Henry, Brees, Neighbors, Worthy.
You want to do Addison?
Let's not do Addison because he's just gonna fall in the next couple days.
Okay. Doesn't mean he's like a worse pick. Sure, Jennings I like.
Yeah, Jennings is good.
I like Olave too. You don't like Olave around here?
Decent chance we get Olave coming back around.
Yeah, I have Olave over Jennings, but it's close.
Yeah, I mean this is obviously what is true, which is that you should just have more diversified builds. Every time you take Worthy, you shouldn't also take Tet McMillan. Sometimes when you take Worthy, you should take JSN. Sometimes when you take RJ Harvey, you should take Chris. Like you just shouldn't have the same combinatorial pairings, or the one team you get through with Jonathan Taylor, you're gonna have, you know, whatever, a bunch of deadbeats.
Well, and more importantly, you should mix up how you draft. So you should not, unless you want to lean into variance, you should not draft 100% zero running back. You should not draft 100% heavy running back. Like that's a good way to have a bad year. It's also a good way to have a great year. So you got to ask yourself how much risk tolerance you have.
Yeah. Damn.
I think the mix and fall just needs to be scooped here.
Yeah, that sucks. I would have preferred to take literally anyone other than Joe Mixon, but sure. What sucks is that's not even this is not even a diversified team
because Jennings goes there.
Because Jennings just goes here, so that's a little annoying.
How are you feeling about Godwin?
I like Godwin a lot.
Is he gonna?
I like Igbuka a lot too.
Yeah, I get a lot of him.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like the slappies should be all over Igbuka, but I don't know why they're not.
It's whiplash from last year, and it's hearing people like you being like downtrodden and being like, I got 8% everyone. They're like, okay, fine, brother. Like, well, we gotta get our Jordan Masons before we get our Ibukas. We gotta get our Najee.
I don't think that's true. I don't really think anyone else is doing that, because if they were, then the running back ADPs would be higher. Xavier Worthy would not be a 4th round pick if the slappies had learned their lesson.
No, Xavier Worthy's a 4th round pick because it's kind of ambiguous how it's going to sort out between him and Rice, and there's also a possibility Worthy is like Tyreek Hill.
No, Worthy's best case is being like Devonta Smith.
I'm just saying from like a simplification level. Like that's how people are feeling. They're like, yeah, this guy.
I'll let Liam field the wide receiver busting question for the San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, I'm not confident enough that I don't want to draft all of them. I don't have it in me not to scoop up Ayuk as he continues to fall, especially in something like Best Ball Mania, right? Like drafters, the Eliminator. Okay, fine. You don't want to deal with the early season stuff. Fine. But if you're going to get 100% health IU almost certainly by like week 6 plus. So
it's a good line.
News flash, money is won week 17 in this game. So ask yourself, do you want a healthy IU?
You got to get there, bro.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I like Jennings. He was really good last year. I'm inclined to just like be like, sure, it could happen again. Pearsall is probably the one with the most just like question marks, not in the sense
I mean,
of
he
health.
stinks, dude. Pearsall might just be bad at football.
He was very bad before that week 17 game. Like, I remember watching that game like the week before and being like, my God, this guy is awful. He was just like dropping balls.
God, I really wanted to pull this up and for them to all be 8%. I'm kind of annoyed that they're all 12%. It would have been way funnier if Ayuk, Jennings, and Pearsall were all 8%.
Yeah, I mean, getting them all at 16% is probably in it. Like, I got on my big dog team. You should pull up that draft board after this, though, by the way. We should talk about that draft board. It's just so bad. I got Pearsall at pick 81 or whatever. Or 80, you know. Or Diggs. I don't remember which one. No, I think you scoop Laporta. Or I'd be Shakir.
So we can't really afford Shakir because we're not going to take Mahomes. We're on the wrong side of the board to get Purdy. And
I just like Shakir more than Downs.
Dart.
I like, has nothing to do with quarterbacks. We have Purdy. Purdy does fall to us. Also, I'm okay with Mahomes. I think Mahomes.
This is crazy, dude. People will just say anything. Real ball knowers click a guy who's not going to play this year.
He 18. Did get like a somewhat positive blurb, which I was just like, huh. I'm not. This is a man
who's never been healthy in the NFL, and he tore his ACL. And was it? I can't remember. Was it week 17 or week 18? It was
week 17. Yeah, he was on my better BBM finals team, and I was like, oh, okay. Or maybe he tore it in week 16. And
if there's any player I would say is unlikely to beat his timetable for an ACL, it's probably Christian Watson. No disrespect.
There was some positive speak about him. I will say that.
Yeah, there's probably going to be some positive speak about Tank Dell at some point before his like medical retirement. You know,
Tank Dell's nearly like 100% drafted on DraftKings. God bless those people.
I know it's really incredible.
There
you go.
I think we do Mahomes, man. I think we do Mahomes.
Mahomes at ADP has to just be like a terrible bet.
Not when you've taken Worthy. You got to just play like you're right. I don't love the week 17 matchup against the Broncos for the wide receivers with like Denver's secondary looking like it might be the best in the NFL. Like it does profile more as like a Kelsey spot, but I mean, it's not hard to squint and see a 40-yard touchdown season from Mahomes.
We got Christian Watson's dad. He's returned.
Oh my God, dude. It was a nice graphic today. Your thumbnail.
Doing my best. Yeah, every time I click Mahomes, I'm just like, oh, we're doing this again.
I've not done it enough, and I'm like, I want to get some of him.
Liam strong-arming Davis to select Mahomes. Mahomes is just objectively a bad fantasy quarterback. He should be priced the way Purdy is priced.
He was.
But because he's won a bunch of Super Bowls.
Okay,
people
that is a great argument when Mahomes is going in the second round. That was my argument the past couple of years when Mahomes was in the second round and he went ahead of Josh Allen and co. It's not a good argument when Purdy goes 5 picks later. Purdy literally goes at the 8-9 turn all the time, or he goes in the 9th round. So it's not like you're like, oh no, I don't have Darnell Mooney. Oh no, I don't have TJ Hawkinson. You know, like we just took our quarterback. We're going to have a 9th round player instead.
Well, don't take John Mechie. Plus EV advice.
Yeah, don't do that. You're not even responding to the fact that Mahomes goes within 8 picks of like Purdy on average.
He doesn't though. He doesn't. He goes 86 and Purdy goes 105.
That's a full round.
That's a full round.
That is way different than the past when Mahomes would go in the 4th.
Yeah.
Like
right.
people need to realize that Mahomes is very, very like Purdy just went pick 98. 10 picks later.
Man, doesn't Purdy probably just score more points?
That could happen. That's not really the point of, it's like who has the higher ceiling of the two?
Oh, yeah, definitely Mahomes.
Easily.
All right, let's check what the God says. 4,300 passing yards, 30 tuds, 3 rushing touchdowns, 369 rushing yards. Let's check.
I think we bullied Mike Clay into doing 17-week. He's like
40
goes doing this. Our best ball guys. Let's do 17 game projections.
So this is just interesting.
I don't like the Ayuk projection.
So this is interesting. He's got Purdy for more yards and more rushing touchdowns, but fewer passing yards.
To be honest, Purdy's in a really nice spot. No, Shaheed over him, I think.
Yeah.
Luther Burden is going to fall 20 picks. Like I still think Burden's a good click, but he's fallen everywhere else.
Yeah. This is the biggest thing is the 49ers do literally have the easiest.
Way more importantly, their defense is probably terrible. Like they're going to need to score.
I want you guys to go back and look at the last time Mahomes had more than 300 more than 303 in a game. It'll depress you so bad.
Yeah, but I also think throwing to Justin Watson and co is a big difference than throwing to Hollywood as your 4th target.
I actually did just yesterday message Mr. Clay about coming on the show.
I like to see my fantasy analyst pasty. I saw a picture of Mike Clay at the beach. That's not what I want my projection guy doing. I don't want
the reason why I use Clay's is I don't have to be logged into anything and I stream on Firefox.
No, it's just a good thing to look at. Yeah.
It's just quick. Like I have other projections pulled up, but I have them in a spreadsheet, which is not easily streamable. I said Beefcake. I said more than 303. So like a good fantasy game, go find the last 414 yard, 5 touchdown.
Show me the picks. Show me the picks here. No, God, no, not Kyle Williams. Bateman over Kyle Williams. We got Henry. Bateman, some correlation.
Dude, we are dusted at quarterback. We need
Bateman. What do you mean? We got Goff that we could do later.
Goff will not get back to us.
Goff falls often. I think the wide receiver teardrop is a lot bigger.
Yeah. I think. By the way,
recap our team for me.
Our team is Pat Mahomes, aka Fancy Gardner Minshew, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, oldest running back room. Draft a 30-year-old running back challenge. We're succeeding.
Some people
Malik Neighbors, like Xavier Worthy, Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, and Sam Laporta.
I think we can also just do Stroud with Mixon next pick.
Also, Goff went the pick before us.
Okay, well, Goff's gone, but I mean, why would we draft Kyle Williams over Bateman? What's the?
It would have been to set up May, but I didn't even realize where we were at in the board.
May is definitely not making it back.
Yeah, I didn't realize where we were at in the board.
You get so heated when Mahomes gets brought up.
What can I do, man? I can't win. You know, it's like, okay, if he smashes this year, great. If he sucks, it's just like the Chiefs have put me into a no-win.
What
situation.
If the NFL ban? Open your third eye. Okay, how about Dave? How about Kitchen adding himself though? That's a big boomer.
He meant to add me, but man, that is so funny. That is really, really funny.
We have a profit split agreement, Kitchen.
Oh, that's so good.
That is hilarious.
That's so good.
It's better than offering a damn pizza party. At least I was offering equity.
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, anyone who drafts gets half the equity. That's the
No, that's not what Herzig did. Herzig was like, I'll throw a pizza party if the team wins. It's like,
Is
bro,
that true?
I'm not coming to your damn pizza party if you won $1 million with the team I drafted with you.
My buddy just sent me an email about playing in a 2-man scramble. Might be kind of fun. I've been golfing a ton, Liam.
An
That's
email?
yeah.
I could see myself getting really into golf. I would like it, I'm sure, but
Or well, we
we
got to
should have
take
done
Hollywood.
Addison.
Yeah.
What's our? Do we have any stacks with these quarterbacks?
No,
No,
we got
we don't.
nothing. If only we had some real-time assistance.
Mims week 17 bring back. Let's do Mims. Well,
You like that? You like that better than the just correlation with our quarterback?
I do, yeah. And but I think we can get Hollywood next pick. Also, if you just showed the board a little bit better, this would have been easier. So it's not the real time assistance. It's just the error.
If only I had some
driver,
automated
the guy
real-time
driving.
assistance. The reference is that Liam,
second year playing after I won BBM2, like I come from a gambling background, right? Like in poker, you would like buy equity or swap equity, right? And so I wanted it crystal clear. Like I didn't want ambiguity if I drafted a team because I knew I was drafting good teams and getting my money in good. Case in point, I won 2 best ball tournaments that next year. Like I wanted it very clear that like, hey, if this team wins, you are getting 50%. I don't want it to be like, oh, I go on a guest stream and someone was like, hey, oh yeah, sorry, I'm going to keep that one or just ghost me. We're up here, by the way. We can backstack Trevor. I like Kraft, actually. Let's do Kraft. So most of the guests that year, I was like, hey, if you want equity in this team, send me $12.50 and then I'll send you the equity. And every single team that made the playoffs and got lost in week 15, I Venmo'd every single person. Every team that made week 16 lost, I Venmo'd those people. Other people I drafted playoff teams with, I didn't get Venmo'd, right? And so I do understand the point of like, oh, hey, they're coming on your stream for the time. So we've since nixed that and we've all accepted. But what Herzig did that year is he said, hey, if I win, we're going to throw a pizza party for you, which to me is just like, definitely no. No, it was not after the show kitchen. It was before. But no, yes, it was obviously with time. We all get wiser. It's obviously better just to front the money for the guest. And that's why I don't have a lot of guests on for BBM2 teams, guys, or for BBM teams. I don't want to share the money. The only one I've done a guest stream with for the past 2 years on BBM is Davis.
I'm happy to share the money because I'm not going to win anyways. So
Wow.
I am happy.
That is not my mentality. My mentality is I'm building teams to win the contest.
I'm happy to invite people on to offer them $12.50 of equity. That's really $0.00. So shout out.
I wish there were blurbs in the Rolling Stone about pizza parties. It is a funny callback.
Would be sick if I did get 8.3% ROI. That would be a good closing to the bit. 8.3% ROI on
that's like the worst thing almost. Like you'd rather lose than get 8% ROI.
You know what, Liam? I actually wouldn't. Let me tell you, my body was a machine that turned about $17,000. I mean, I legit think I got $2,500 back last year in best ball.
Tough.
I never did the math because obviously any money I got back immediately went back into playoff best ball, which I then didn't win any money in that. So I guess it did all go to zero at the end of the day because it all went into playoff best ball and I went 0 for 89 in the semifinal week. So I guess I did turn all the money into zero.
Well, what if you win Best Ball Mania one of these years, man? What if we win right here, guys, and then Davis just closes up shop and disappears with the 2 million? You know?
I would be look, man. If we win 2 million, I will get the money I send you back.
We'll do an in-person stream if that happens.
No, I still probably am not leaving my house.
I would come to St. Louis, obviously. I was not assuming you come to Florida.
Sure, yeah, I could set up the studio down here with another microphone and a second
Doesn't
chair.
Vinefor live in St. Louis too?
Hey, he lives across the river from me. All right, so I think we should take
Bryce Young backstackable.
Yeah,
Or Tua backstackable question.
let's do Bryce. Let's do Bryce and Rico Dowdle.
Why don't we just take Adam Thielen first?
We need running back more. That's fine.
It's just like so much cleaner though to have a wide receiver with him, isn't there?
Take Jalen Coker, dude.
There was a recent blurb that did not mention him for like making the team.
Yeah, dude, because Hunter Renfrow, people like this is a real, like people do forget. Normally when say people forget, no one actually forgot. People forget Hunter Renfrow was awesome.
He was
NFL
so good
player.
that 1 year. Okay, well, Thielen goes. So Rico it is. Pat Bryant also week 17 stack.
We're gonna take Mims and Bryant without Knicks.
Yeah, that's called a week 17 stack.
Chris, I think you know me. I think you know me well enough to know why I'm not visiting anywhere.
He doesn't want people to be like, "Damn, you're only 5'4" or whatever." You know, he wants the illusion.
I just, dude, I go to the gym, I go to the golf course, and I walk my dogs, and that is me leaving the house.
All right, what's our team here?
I personally would not put 20K that Coker makes the team.
I would bet pretty heavily he does, obviously too.
Mahomes, Bryce, Derrick Henry, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Rico Dowdle, all different bye weeks there, so we could theoretically be done at 4.
For sure.
Neighbors, Worthy, Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, Marvin Mims, Sam Laporta, and Tucker Kraft.
I don't think this is a crazy team to throw Dart on in the last round if he's there. It's not needed, but could do it.
We could. Yeah. Dude, don't you know all the computers, all the automated real-time assistance says you need to take 3 quarterbacks?
Dude, the 3 quarterback propaganda is off the charts.
I mean, it's just the data.
Someone says Rico makes me nervous. I mean, the other thing is like I like Chuba a lot, but it's not hard to see that being way closer to a 50-50 split and Rico playing way more than like Chuba drafters want him to. The 3 quarterback take is that is what is good on average, and we're not trying to be on average. Not saying I never do 3 quarterbacks, but hey, we're up, Davis.
What do you want? You want to take Coker?
Show me the players. I think we do Diami Brown first, or Douglas, or Pierce.
Trying to get up to my 8% of DeMario Douglas.
Getting it with me.
So it's really only like 4%.
And it's a week 17 bring back with Freeze. Yeah, you got to factor in the equity split on that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Kitchen was in here because I ribbed him on Twitter today. You know that the Soulcast picture? I commented, I said, is Kitchen the one taking the pictures of the kids on the playground?
No, Pete told us a crazy story. The dude is out playing at the park with his daughter and just starts straight doing pull-ups on the monkey bars, just hanging out with his daughter at the park. Like, dude, settle down, Peter.
Oh, Pete started doing that?
Yes.
That's not that crazy, is it?
It's not, but we were just giving him a hard time. I think we should take Dimes.
If we're gonna do
we should take Dart.
I think we do Slayton, and then we do Dart next round.
I think we should take 80 Mitchell to give us the option for either one.
Slayton. No one's gonna take Dart. If anyone just takes Dart because we're streaming, let them have it. Slayton. It's just a much better pick for this team. I like Adonai Mitchell, but we're not.
Why is Slayton a better pick for this team?
Because we're going to go Dart and then a running back.
I don't visit anywhere because I don't leave the house, Jared.
It's an easy calculus.
Very simple, yeah. Is my mustache looking? I changed
It
the.
does look, dude. You guys, Davis looked like Pennywise before I helped him with his lighting.
So my puck lights on this shelf died, and I didn't charge them. Here, I can show the people what I look like. I gotta pull up my white balancing tool.
What is our wide receiver room? How many pull-ups can you do, Davis? I bet not many because he's like strong. Not.
I could probably do like 6 legit body weight.
When I was lighter, I could do many more. Now I can't do as much.
I was looking like this earlier. My
You
white,
look. Oh yeah.
my white balance is not. It's hard
Recap
to.
the wide receiver room.
Our wide receivers are Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Juwan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, Rashad Bateman, Marvin Mims, Demario Douglas, and Darius Slayton. A lot of week 14 buys.
Honestly, we could even go dart and a wide receiver as well. Like, I wouldn't say a 5th running back is required when you have Henry, Brees, Joe Mixon, but it's a mix, in my opinion. And we don't need dart. Like, dart is just like honestly, if I had remembered we had Neighbors, we could have passed on Bryce and just done dart. But I think this is good too.
I've not taken Ricky White in any. I have a bunch of him from the pre-draft.
I took I wasn't. It was like the last pick I did in the big dog, and I had Olave and Neighbors on the team, and I just already predetermined I was going to do Shuck, and then I was like, oh man, I forgot I had Neighbors, and I kind of regretted not taking Dart instead of Shuck. And Dart didn't even get drafted, but Russell Wilson did, which seems
Dart is I like Dart a good bit. I mean, I take some Shuck, but Dart I think is just like actually a good pick.
Well, I think Dart just has a lot more upside than Shuck.
He runs a little bit, you know.
Like Shuck, I think, is likely to give you week 1 points. Might as well do Dart here.
Dart.
You want to do wide receiver or running back with our last pick?
Running back.
Then, yeah, might as well do one of your Kansas City boys. Also, not crazy to do Jaleel or...
No, is crazy.
I don't think Jaleel is crazy, but...
Jaleel had his chance last year. He played with only jabronis, and he was awful. It's just, he's not an NFL player.
Don't you remember him doing the jug machine, dude? He was so expensive last year. It's so bizarre.
Not happening for Jaleel.
I like Marshawn Lloyd more than all the players you have ranked.
I don't like Marshawn Lloyd, but he's fine. Rehab field, Marshawn Lloyd.
Where are you at on Jalen Royals?
He's probably
he got drafted,
wide receiver. He's probably the 5th wide receiver, and actually he's probably the 6th because Nico Remigio, Dave Taub, the special teams coach, said he's the greatest special teams player he's ever seen, and has just been begging Andy Reid to make him active on game days, and then he finally got his wish, and then he stayed active on game days in the playoffs, even after Juju got healthy.
Oh yeah, we forgot to do Coker, who could have been our...
It's fine. We need Bryce Young. Well, actually, we basically need Bryce Young to be our quarterback 1 because our quarterback 1 is Pat Mahomes.
Bryce Young rushing touchdowns could be a thing.
This is the best. This is my favorite bit. This is such a good bit that how much royals do you have?
It's played out. It's played out in my opinion.
Buddy, we got 3 more months of this shit.
Dude, you like the vocab from your streams bleeds over to my streams, and I'm like, I don't say that stuff. Like they'll just be like, that's a slappy pick or whatever. You know, I'm like, okay, yeah.
I don't think you make many slappy picks, really.
I'm more aligned with the slaps than not, I would say. It's just I like some players the slaps don't like, and don't like some of the players the slaps do.
I can't the Kyle Manungai stuff, man. I can't do the Kyle Manungai.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there either.
Slappy is what I did last year. Slappy is anyone who subscribes to ship chasing.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Liam's roots. It's true. Gabe Davis was a slappy pick.
So, dude, Gabe Davis, low-key. I won a best ball tournament with 4th round Gabe Davis.
Yeah, Slappy is it's like effectively it's all you care about is it's like anyone over 25 is dead to you. You have strong opinions on Kyle Monungai. You take Ashton Genty in the first round. You're happy to take Ashton Genty.
You think Roshan Johnson will be like if you were into 4th round Laviska Shenault, that is the ultimate Slappy pick.
Yep.
So it like basically any player that the ship chasing crew is like, oh, I like this wide receiver. If you're just like windmilling that guy 5 rounds,
Kyle Williams is well, I'll tell you what, Rashee Rice in the 2nd round, that is as slappy as it possibly gets.
I don't know. That one has like logic to it. Like the slappy picks are not like if you start every single draft 6 wide receivers, slappy.
Yeah. Send me this big dog board.
Just go to my Twitter and pull it up.
All right, then we can get out of here. I can go see Sun for the first time today.
Mason Dodd was I actually just ended streaming and then the big dog filled, so I didn't stream this. But it was a pretty wild board.
All right. We have got Mr. Flock drafting out of the 1 hole. We had OMG.
You had like a couple terrible drafters here. So I'm in the 10 hole. And then like I mean, I don't think the guy going so Hurts almost made it back to me, and I of course would have taken Hurts at pick 58.
Yeah.
What do you think of I don't think it's crazy for the Lamar drafter to do it, but what's really bad is he took Joe Flacco then in the last round.
So where is the Lamar? Lamar at 40 takes Hurts at 50. Yeah, no, that's terrible. That is.
Well, it's kind of like he was staring at the value, I'm sure. And this Renegades guy always drafts like this, by the way. If you've ever been with, he does.
I was gonna say, I remember he was in 2 of my big dogs.
He does all of this
last
stuff.
year,
and so he took like Tua naked. Like he's kind of have to scroll down for the bad teams. Yeah, things seem pretty normal. I think that like the Jaden Daniels drafter had only got Daniel Jones as the QB2. That's kind of thin. This guy takes naked Joe Burrow. Naked Mahomes.
He protected the integrity of the contest. Did he backstack? He took Kelsey, and then I bet he
Kelsey
took
there.
Oh, he didn't take the naked Joe Burrow drafter is always the dumbest person alive because they're like, dude, I'm taking Yoshi Voss and Gesicki, and it's just like, all right, man, congrats, dude, congrats on your 77th place finish.
So I took Shuck with my last round pick, which I would have done Dart if I was like watching the WSOP coverage. So I was like, seems fine. But I have Goff and May,
Liam falling for the 3 quarterback propaganda.
Well, I thought my team was so strong because if you go up, I thought it was crazy. I got Pearsall and Diggs where I did. So I was like, okay, I'm done at wide receiver. Plus, I don't know why Mims has fallen like 30 spots. I don't hate Marvin Mims either or yet, you know. So I got like Diggs at pick 86, which he goes at like mid 70s. You got to scroll up to see that. Right, like Pearsall pick 82 after Ayuk, which is surprising. Diggs pick 87 after Mooney, Igbuka, and Downs.
Surprising. Do you like Goff with J-Mo? I like Goff more with St. Brown, but not that it's bad.
I think first off, I just didn't want to get locked at quarterback. And I think Goff's like pretty strongly correlated with J-Mo's big weeks.
Mr. Dodd hates Mims. He just messaged me back. I think he's gonna do my stream soon.
Yeah, he was saying he hates Mims, and then so the Renegades guy goes naked Tua pick 124. One guy went.
And he took Richardson, 4 quarterbacks.
Yes, 4 quarterbacks. You know,
so this guy's just brain dead.
We got Jalen Milroe drafted. We got Joe Flacco is on the Lamar and Hurts team. So I mean, I posted this on Twitter, guys. It's kind of hard to see with the zoom in, but yeah, I don't know. Like my last round pick would have been a 7th running back if I didn't go quarterback. And so I was like, but I have Achane and Ken Walker, so like that's a good enough anchor. Like, what's my weakest position group to you?
Running back. You're
Yeah,
running
and I
back.
have
You're running back
Achane and
3.
Walker.
So Guarendo's going to project for like 3 points week 1. Dowdle like 5. Shipley like 0.1. Miles Sanders like 4.
Miles Sanders 15 when he's the starter.
You're a Ken Walker ankle twist away from like finishing 9th place in your pod.
It was a tough choice between Stephon Diggs and Aaron Jones, who Aaron Jones goes after Brian Robinson, pick 90. That's pretty
108 J.K.
insane.
Dobbins. That seems a bit
108 J.K. Dobbins, right? Like, yeah. So this Mason had to go like Cam Ward and Aaron Rodgers because he got locked at quarterback. So I don't know. Weird draft.
He took Hunter. Good for him.
He did take Hunter.
There you go. If you're looking for what a slappy is, it's projecting Miles Sanders as the weak. Although it's so funny, Sanders
He's like
is
the
such the
antithesis
opposite.
of a slappy.
I was gonna say it's just so funny that the slappies are now drafting.
Yeah, because
Sanders.
Jaden Blue is the slappy pick, but everyone kind of agrees.
Because the slappies get their opinions from Karain, and Karain doesn't like him.
Oh, okay. And here's the other thing, by the way. If you look at Ash's team, it's a 3 running back team. Jonathan Taylor, guess the next 2 running backs on his team. You'll never guess it.
Javonte Williams.
Close.
Travis Etienne.
Close.
Scatterboo, Jaden Blue. Yeah, so like obviously like Mason Taylor, it just adds nothing to this team.
I mean, is that team not dead? It's a 3 running back team.
It's pretty dead. I mean, it's
there's like several teams that seem quasi dead here.
It's just that is a classic. You hire your stakes in any gambling activity, and it's just going to invite people who don't really know what they're doing.
Well, and the other thing is like Mason has such a big audience that like several of these guys were like I threw on his stream for a second. Several of them were like interacting with him, so maybe Mason just is the whale collector.
I mean, Mason, he's the dude's the best. Guy has what 250,000 YouTube subscribers.
I'm trying to get there.
How many YouTube subscribers does he have?
A lot.
God. Fantasy Flock.
Someone says that dude definitely autoed with 3 running backs. No.
255,000.
That could have been you, Davis, if you started 10 years ago.
I could just have Pete's channel if I would have just started 5 years ago. You know, this is actually true. I am the host of the video on Pete's channel with the most views that he's ever gotten. 41,000 views for an NBA Top Shot stream that was a take cast.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, what? The puppy's sharper than the big dog?" No, it's pretty common that you just have some rich folks blasting off in high stakes stuff.
Yeah. All right,
folks.
You know what, guys? Tomorrow I'm wearing a suit.
Yeah. What if we both just start doing suits, man? I'm getting blonde, slick back hair.
Yeah. Yes. I'm being literally nothing but complimentary of Mason. I just like look up to I mean he's like 24 years old or whatever, but I look up to Mason. He great
does
dude.
grind content.
Yeah.
Well, so does Davis, though. You know, like I do somewhat too, but not as diligent. All right, folks, have a wonderful...
This is not true. This 2550 is not easier to beat than 1-2, but you might find
it depends on the game.
The real analogy is that 2-5 IRL is easier to beat than 50 cent 1 cent or a 50 cent buck online.
Oh yeah, 10 cent, 20 cent online, death row, where it's like
row.
50, 100 with like 3 businessmen, nuts. All right, folks, we appreciate you being here. Be sure to like and subscribe to both the stream and our channels. Link to join my Discord is below my video. Davis is as well, I assume. BeatBestBall.com
gotta be a
for my
YouTube
stuff.
member. Gotta be a YouTube member.
BeatBestBall.com for my stuff. Davis's Patreon for his stuff. Davis and I should be back next Wednesday at 3 p.m. And next week's my last week of school for June, and then I'm off for July. So
All right.
See what happens
There we
in
go.
July. I might make it out to the WSOP, play the main event. What if I win $10 million, Davis?
You can hire me to be a consultant for beatbestball.com.
Snap hired, dude. You're in
Yeah.
there. All right, folks.
All right.
Enjoy your days. Davis, anything else?